Hello, my name is Rachel and this is my reading wrap up for the month of August. I've read 11 books this month, then a review. 4 of them have been graphic novels. I'm not going to review them because I've already reviewed them earlier this month. So I'm just going to briefly go through them ones and then move on to the novels that I have read during August. Okay, so the first graphic novel I read this month was Harlequin. I gave this 2 stars. And then I read Nimona and I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. Then I read Take It As a Compliment, which I gave 4.5 stars. And then I read Through the Woods, which I also gave 4.5 stars and is currently my favourite graphic novel. And then for the novels that I've read this month, I'm going to do them in order of how many stars I gave them out of 5. So the first book is On Chesil Beach by Ian McEwan, which I only gave 1.5 stars. This is about a couple called Edward and Florence who have just got married, and it is the wedding night, and they are at a dinner in a hotel and they're both very scared about their first time being intimate with someone. The story was good and I do like Ian McEwan's writing, so I enjoyed that, but I just thought it kind of set it up for like really dramatic ending, and it just wasn't there. It was kind of just like a subpar, like everything's okay kind of ending, and I just thought it made the whole novel seem kind of unnecessary, and it just made the end of it unsatisfying. So I didn't really like this, and I didn't give it many stars at all, really. Then I read Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I gave this play 2.5 stars. Didn't really like it. A lot of plot holes, and I won't be treating it as the 8th Harry Potter story. But I have already done a video on this, so if you do want to see my review of it, I will link it in the down bar below. But I'm not really going to say much about it now. The next book I read was by Rainbow Rowell, and it was Candid Spirit. Now I've already read Carry On by Rainbow Rowell, which I really enjoyed. So I saw this and had to pick it up, and I thought it was really cute. It's only 60 something pages, so it's quite nice to like read in an afternoon. And it was for World Book Day, so it's really small. I think it was only £1. And it's just like a little thing to kind of like get kids into reading. So it says, if you broke Elena's heart, Star Wars would spill out. So when she decides to queue outside her local cinema to see the new movie, she is expecting a celebration with crowds of people who love Han, Luke and Leia just as much as she does. What she's not expecting is to be last in a line of only 3 people, to have a pee in a collectible Star Wars cup behind a dumpster, or to meet that unlikely someone who just might truly understand the way she feels. I only gave this 3 stars, but I did really enjoy it. I thought it was really cute, and I loved how many Star Wars references there was in it. But I did have to give it 3 stars just because it's so small. It was like hard to really get into the story and the characters. But if this had been a little bit longer, I would definitely have given this like 4 or 5 stars because it was really cute and funny. But yeah, still good. I would definitely recommend it. Then I read We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. I also gave this book 3 stars. There's not really much of a synopsis for this because I think you are supposed to go into this book blind. The back says, we are liars, we are beautiful and privileged, we are cracked and broken. A tale of love and romance, a tale of tragedy. Which are lies, which is truth, you decide. and it's basically about a girl who goes to a summer home on a private island, and there's a group of her and 3 other liars, and it's just about their summer. I don't want to spoil it for anyone, so I'm not going to say any more than that. I think the first thing is I absolutely adored the way this was written. The style was kind of reminiscent of like free verse poetry, like this bit, which was really, really interesting. And some of the metaphors in it were just really hard hitting and beautiful. So, a part where she says about her dad leaving that he pulled out a handgun and shot me in the chest. And there's like a moment where you think, oh my god, why has her dad just shot her? And then it's kind of a metaphor for how she's feeling. And it's just, there's metaphors like that all the way through, and I just think they're really, really, really effective. So I really liked that. And I really liked the references to King Lear throughout and other types of plays and stuff. So I gave it 3 stars for those things. But overall, I didn't really find the story like jarring. I've like most people I've heard talk about this book have been like, oh my god, the ending was so shocking, blah blah blah, but I just didn't really find it that effective. And it might just be because I was looking for a twist, because everyone said there was one, but I just didn't. I didn't think it was as great as it had been hyped up to be. But it is a very fast read, and it is good, and I would say read it just for the writing style. So yeah, 3 stars. The next 3 books, I gave all of them 5 out of 5 stars and really, really enjoyed. The first one is the illustrated edition of Harry Potter. I got this for Christmas, but I was doing my 3rd year at university and had a lot of reading, so I've only just got around to reading it. But it was nice to save it actually till after I'd read Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, because kind of killed Harry Potter a bit, and this like made it better again. This was so amazing. Like, the pictures in this were just so beautiful. Like, obviously we all know the story of Harry Potter and it's magical and amazing and brilliant, but the drawings just made it like leap off the page and made it just so much better. And yeah, it was nice to renew the magic of Hogwarts after reading Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, basically. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this, and yeah, 5 out of 5 stars, because it's just Harry Potter. Harry Potter's great. Then I also gave 5 out of 5 stars to Harpley's Go Set a Watchmen. I really, really enjoyed this. I enjoyed this more than To Kill a Mockingbird because it dealt with more themes that I was interested in, like feminism and stuff like that. And it was more aimed at me as a reader, because Jean is like 20 to 21 in it, rather than it being aimed at children. So I just found it more easy to navigate, sort of thing. But I'm not really going to talk about this because I have already done a video review of it, which I will link in the down bar. And the last book I read this month, and probably my favourite book I read this month and gave 5 out of 5 stars, was Red Rising by P.S. Brown. This book, I was not expecting to love this book as much as I did. It was one of those that you like see in a bargain bucket when you're walking around and just pick it up. And yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be this great, and it was. It says in the back, the Earth is dying. Darrow is a red, a miner in the interior of Mars. His mission is to extract enough precious elements to one day tame the surface of the planet and allow humans to live on it. The Reds are humanity's last hope, or so it appears, until the day Darrow discovers it's all a lie, that Mars has been habitable and inhabited for generations by a class of people calling themselves the Golds. A class of people who look down at Darrow and his fellows as slave labour to be exploited and worked to death without a second thought. Until the day Darrow, with the help of a mysterious group of rebels, disguises himself as a Gold and infiltrates their command school, intent on taking down his oppressors from the inside. But the command school is a battlefield, and Darrow isn't the only student with an agenda. So, Red Rising was a mix of science fiction and fantasy and dystopian, and it actually all came together really, really well. It was reminiscent of a Hunger Games type book, but it was much more gritty and hard hitting, which I really enjoyed. And I just found the whole thing to be full of surprises, and a lot of them were unpredictable. And the ending of this book is just absolutely phenomenal. You're reading it thinking, no way they're gonna do that, and then it just happens, and it's just amazing. So yeah, this was my favourite book of the month, and I went straight out and bought the second one because it is the first in a trilogy. So yeah, if you read anything out of this, definitely read this one. This is the best one. Yeah, so thank you for watching my August reading wrap up, and I will see you soon with another video. Thank you very much. Bye.